I'm not running from nothing. I'm happy to have a conversation. If Wax in here politicking and having conversations, then I'm happy to join. I'm not running from nothing. I'm happy to have a conversation. And if Wax in here politicking and having conversations, then I'm happy to join.
We appreciate you coming in, Adam 22. This is CEO Reed Sneak. I'm the one that hosts and narrates the rooms. So if we're still, we got everyone here, or we still waiting for
go ahead. Hey, D-Catch up with us. Adam can hold his own in the trail. Yeah, shit. I'm here. So shit, me and AD.
Okay, so first off, the first thing we want to, find out, man, without going actually reading them, I'm gonna just give you the premise. Somebody brought your name up,
right,
and a whole bunch of Twitters came up with a whole bunch of shit. It was crazy. We try to fathom and come with a billion different reasons of what the hell was going on. Maybe his phone got hacked. Maybe he was trolling. White dudes, they got a different type of sense of humor. Maybe he was just fucking around. We didn't know what was going on. So if you can let us know, in 2010, who were you working for, and where were you at?
So, number one thing about me is that I never worked for anybody pretty much since I was in high school. I always just had my own business. 2006, I started a BMX website, and that just basically became my whole life, my whole job, whatever. So I spent pretty much like the next 10 years just going out riding bikes and working on this website that eventually sort of blossomed into a YouTube channel. And I started doing podcasts all within the BMX bike world, just because that's really like my two main interests growing up were just always rap and then BMX riding, and like they were always like kind of one and the same to me, just because like we would be out riding bikes every day, talking about rappers and listening to rap, whatever. And that was just always one of my things. I never really thought that I would have anything to offer in terms of doing like hip hop content and making videos about rappers and shit like that. But I was like an expert when it came to bike riding. So I always like focused on that. And then over time, just kind of gradually like got a shot doing rap stuff just from meeting rappers here and there, started doing interviews. And that was pretty much the seed of everything that you see me doing now. And in terms of those tweets,
2006, right? 2006?
2006 was when I started the website. Yeah. So I guess, I would have been, I graduated high school in 2002. So I would have been 22 at that time, I guess. And in terms of those tweets, it was, I really have like, even people who weren't on Twitter or weren't on social media at that time, I'm sure you've heard a million times about how Twitter used to be so crazy and the humor was like really ratchet and just ridiculous. And, you've had so many different times where you've seen, people who are famous or in Hollywood or whatever, where some tweet from usually around 2010 comes up and it looks crazy as fuck. And, admittedly, a lot of those tweets look crazy as fuck, but, a lot of them were literally just like the most offensive things that we were joking around about at the time, or like the craziest shit possible. Like really at the time, I probably had like 500 followers at that time, because Twitter was like brand new then. So anything in any of those tweets, I mean, I'm totally fine with responding to any of them, but I could give you examples off the top of my head. Like Wack said, Wack texted me, he goes, "Why'd you tweet, 'Let's fuck the kids'?" And I sent him a fucking clip from a comedy back then called Eastbound and Down that, I don't know, like probably not a lot of you guys seen it, but it was really huge at the time. And that was just a line from that show. And, it seemed funny at the time. And at the time, I didn't really feel like, the whole idea of getting canceled off of like your tweets or even like anybody giving a fuck about anything that you said online was like completely foreign, So like all that shit was really just jokes. I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, like that shit was so offensive. That should have never been a joke," whatever. But I mean, pretty much all of it's like completely missing context. It's just not, I have apologized for it in the past, but I also really don't feel like I have to apologize since, that was shit that was just funny to us at the time. I can understand how it looks crazy out of context now, but really, I mean, that was just us being fucking drunk ass white boys laughing at some shit on Twitter back in the day.
Let me give you an example. Bro. You got one that says, "As attracted as I am to Jennifer Aniston and 10-year-old girls." Come on. This was February 26, 2010.
I'm
I
trying
don't see the humor in it.
What was it, 10-year-olds? Or I've Googled this before.
I'll read it again. As attracted as I am to Jennifer Aniston and 10-year-old girls. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like there was some story that was in the media at the time, something about Jennifer Aniston and like a 10-year-old girl or something. I can't remember what it was at all, but it was like a reference to something that was in the media at that time. And that's an unfortunate one because I can't even fucking remember what the fuck the joke was about. But, yeah, you know, it was all just some joke shit at the time. Obviously, like, at that time, you know, I might have only had like 1,000 people following me, but it's like, if that actually was as offensive and if it seemed that crazy out of context, then I'm sure it would have been a big thing then, too. It was just, I don't know. I can't even remember what the joke was, but it was something that was in the news at that time, honestly.
Okay, you know, I'll read you another one. T-Rose, are you there, T-Rose?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read another one because you had the actual file. I'm going through my screenshots right now.
All right, give me 1 second. My bad. I gotta pull it back up.
Yeah, because the 10-year-old girl thing, a lot of the jokes was revolved around young little girls. And you know, it's and the order of it, from the dates, you know, it's strange. It's like there's a period of time where a lot of your jokes was revolving children. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like that was probably the period of time where we felt like we could joke about whatever we wanted on Twitter without people getting mad about it. And then over time, it just became more and more of an obvious thing where it's like, oh, this shit actually could be seen out of context and taken a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Rick, I got two of them.
I guess I'll just state the obvious, which is that I've never done anything with someone who was underage. I've never, I have a daughter now. I have a fiance that I've been with for 5 years. I've never had any kind of, issues. Nobody ever accused me of doing nothing like that.
I did find something of two women accusing you of something, but I'll get to that.
Right, but that was grown women saying that. So that's what I'm saying specifically. Like it's not like anyone's ever said that I did something with a 10-year-old girl or something. It's just,
nothing with any children.
Crazy out of context, honestly.
Yeah, all right, T-Rose, go ahead. Read those two, T-Rose.
All right, yeah. So these two is the one that kind of got me. This one says, quote, "Getting raped is just part of growing up."
Was that in quotes?
That's in quote. I sent all these to Whack, and that's number 17.
Yeah, see, I mean, when I see the quotes around it, that makes me realize that I was quoting somebody else. Even at the time, I wanted to make it very clear that was something that somebody else said and not something that I was saying. Now, I wish I could remember exactly who said it and I could explain the whole context of who we were poking fun at or who said that or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, if it was in quotes, then that makes it even easier for me to just say, hey, that wasn't something that I was saying or a message that I wanted to put out there into the world. It was probably just us laughing at somebody else who said that.
Okay, and this one right here is just a tweet that you sent out. So you're saying you wouldn't suck 11-year-old's dick?
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that, again, it's like, I remember somebody saying that to a girl that we brought home from the bar, and I don't remember why, but I just remember that, like, it was just some fucking conversation where somebody said that to a girl. They said, so you're saying you wouldn't suck an 11-year-old's dick, and it just seemed funny as fuck in the moment. But I mean, it was a joke. It wasn't like the girl actually was saying she sucked an 11-year-old's dick. It was just somebody kind of poking fun at somebody else or I don't know. They were giving a girl a hard time or whatever. Like, I don't even remember the context of it, honestly.
Well, a lot of these, they go back from 2009 and 2010, and even not knowing the context of it, here's another one. I would rather bang a 15-year-old in the ass than be president. I would rather bang a 15-year-old in the ass than win the lottery.
Yeah, well, that's in quotes, right?
Yeah, it's in quotes.
Right, so it's like somebody else had said that, and we all were like, we thought it was so crazy that they had said that. Like, obviously the person who said it wasn't like saying it in a literal manner either. But yeah, that was just like something that somebody said, and At the time, I remember like a big
That
one.
Sorry,
it's not a retweet. It's a direct tweet.
Hold on, Phoenix.
No, but
Phoenix.
it's in quotes. Like there's a quotation mark before and after the sentence, right?
Yeah, it is quotations.
Right. I mean, that was... I remember like a big thing for us at that time, and it feels crazy having to explain this all these years later, but a big thing for us was like we all had the notifications on for our phone. So we would all be like at the bar, we would all be hanging out or whatever, and somebody would say something crazy, and then somebody would tweet it immediately because all of our phones would buzz at the same exact time. And I just remember that like that was a big thing for us at the time, was just saying the like putting shit in quotes and just saying the most offensive shit, whatever. So
You think that's
I know it
appropriate?
looks crazy, but it's also like I really hope nobody actually thinks that these are like real things. That, like I don't know, like I have to imagine that you guys don't even think that that's something that I actually said seriously, right?
Hey, Rick, hold on one second. Hey, my bad. Hold on one second. Hey, everybody that's on stage, we brought y'all on stage to vibe with us for now. So right now we just talking to Adam. So if CEO talking or Adam is talking or I'm talking, if y'all could just stay muted for a minute, you know what I'm saying, so we can get through this, then we greatly appreciate it. Hey Rick, I just have one tweet that I just want to ask him. It wasn't during bar hours or nothing like that. It simply just says, "Let's fuck kids," and this was at 3:30 in the afternoon.
That's the one I already explained. If you go to YouTube and you search "Let's fuck the kids," it'll come up right away. It's like there's a line from a comedy that we thought was really funny at the time. So I mean, you could watch like a 2-minute clip and understand the joke, but it's from this famous TV show that nobody really remembers anymore, apparently.
Okay. You have one, no quotations, right? It says, I would almost rather sexually harass than have sex.
Right. Yeah, that was a joke. Part of that joke I remember was a reference to there's this old song that we used to think was hilarious back in the day, where the name of the song was "I Got an Office Job for the Sole Purpose of Sexually Harassing Women," which is obviously terrible, and especially in this modern day age, that's like comes off as like the most terrible thing ever. But at the time it was like everything was just fucking offensive ass edgy humor, and like it almost makes me wonder with you guys, like I personally think that cancel culture is bad. I personally think that the world would be better if people felt more comfortable making offensive jokes, or if people felt more comfortable joking with their friends and bringing that to the internet without getting torn apart for it or whatever. So, I am happy to sit here and explain every last one, but I also just like want to kind of explore what the desire to even like talk about 10-year-old tweets is. Like, obviously, if there was something in my life,
because we're offended. We got kids. We offended. We support No Jumper. We watch it.
I got kids too, but I still understand like the concept of a joke or the concept of an edgy joke. I understand why you guys want context.
But let me tell you why we're concerned though, because
arrested and charged with murder were 3 members of the Ku Klux Klan. What a good workers, 2 white, 1 Negro. Mickey Schwerner, Andrew Goodman.